there everyone, it's Scott from Scott's Moto Adventures, and so this is going to be part 3 of the Lobo Loco series. I know it hasn't been super popular, but as a completionist, I want to get this done. I've got BMW rally stuff to talk about. I've got other good videos I want to talk about. So anyway, this is part 3. This is the post-mortem. This is the final results. I've got a lot to come off of my chest on this one because I wasn't thrilled with the way this worked out. Like, I liked the rally. There was something else going on. Now, my goal was to finish with 7,000 points. I at least had to acquire that. That was the minimum finish here. If you zoom in here, see at least 7,000 and then 250 miles. So 250 miles I can do in a day like nothing. It's the 7,000 points. Luckily, the way I pick up a quick 1,500 by doing an email. They wanted me to basically just do an email of me in front of something, giving a saying. And let me I know exactly what I did. I don't have it in my album. That's because I'm not super responsible. Here it is. Okay, so life's like a roller coaster. You know me, you know my channel. I do go to amusement parks and stuff like that. So I took a picture over at Dorney Park by Iron Menace, and I like how the color of the sign matches the roller coaster. So yeah, that was pretty fun. So I got my 1,500 points there. So what happened was I was actually going out to Detroit, and I was supposed to drop off a truck to get something put on it. And it was kind of hit or miss. We didn't know if it was going to happen, and it all fell on the same weekend. I was actually supposed to go with a ride with the BMW guys to Revzilla. I canceled that once the work thing came up, and then I remembered I have this rally thing to do. So I had to come up with a plan, and so I was like, well, I'm going to do this out in Detroit. And I was talking to a fellow member couple weeks ago or last week, and he says, wasn't that hard in Detroit? I go, well, I used to live out there. I know where things are. And so the first thing I did was I took a look at the rally packet, and this is my first rally, and you have different things. So let me just pop into here, and so you have different things. These are bonus locations, like Lucky 7, that comes up because that was my Cirilla stop, where it basically doubled the points. So I took the highest pointed thing and I doubled it. 7-year itch, that was kind of a low one. 7th day, I did get that one because it was 977. 7 up. I could have gone to... I should have done that, even though it was 207 points. It wouldn't have changed anything, but I should have got it. I tried the 7 folds. I mentioned that in the last video. I couldn't do it. James Bond, I should have done that. I didn't do it. 7 swans, good luck. That one would have been nice. I know where there's an ornate mirror, and I didn't do it. And that wouldn't have counted. And then secrets like your wild card. That one I used for a lighthouse. In retrospect, I should have thought, and I'll tell you why later on. I should have used that for something else. But anyway, combos. This is where you get a lot of points. So if you did the 7 notes, I think Terrence did. That's a huge bonus at 4,000 points. 7 continents would have been 700. This one I could have done. I did get in North America. I didn't know where there was a soccer field up north. Africa, I got at Belle Isle. Asia, I skipped going to it. And I'm going to explain why. Europe, I probably could have got away with a White Castle, but I also did find a castle up north again, up in the middle of the. So when you're in Michigan, take your hand. It's this way. So you have your thumb, and then you have the rest of the state. It was kind of like up into here. So when you live in Michigan, you show people where you're from with your hand. It's weird. Europe, I probably could have tried a White Castle and seen what happened. Dunder, I could have went to like Kohl's or something and done that. They have Crocs there. Antarctica. So here's the thing. So that secret I used on the lighthouse, and they want a picture of signage, mural or statue with a penguin. I should have gone with secret at the Detroit Zoo instead of the lighthouse. Yeah, I would have lost some points, but there was a penguin on the water tower and I didn't know it. I could have done that and got a combo. That's on me. That was stupid. But it was my first rally. I'm going to work a little harder on the next one. 7 Colors of the Rainbow. My first stop was the Red Barn. And this is where I messed up. And if I go into just saying here. So here's the barn at Northville. That's where it is. I mapped all this stuff out. So I had this. I did have, there was something else out here. This was, I ended up not going there. I should have added that, but I didn't. Let's see here. Another lookbooks. Yeah, I went there. Home Depot for orange. You were supposed to get that. The Henry Ford. That's where I got the yellow. And funny thing is, I did get a text message from Wolf about that. He's like, hey man, I hope you remember because it's $50 to get in that museum. It's close to 50. I just got back from the Corvette Museum last week, and somebody's on the BMW forum complaining about how it was expensive at $23. I'm like, you don't get to complain. It is a whole $48 to go to the Henry Ford. I said, hey man, it's $48 to go here. Don't complain. I did go to Belle Isle, and if you could see, like, and let's go to D-Tech here. I ended up routing it, but like you could kind of see. Now I didn't put, the starting point was always Waterford. And like I had started from there, worked my way down there, you know. I tried to, I think I may have, I went here first and then I did Belle Isle just because it was easier. My goal was to avoid this area. That's where downtown was. That's where the race was. Then I like here gets a little messy because the 7 folds thing messed me up. I needed one more because of that secret thing to get me up to making Cirilla's number 7. So if you look here, stop number 7 is Cirilla's. So I ended up just going to the coffee shop, which was originally number 9, and I moved that down here. I'm going to go back here. That was one of the bonuses on the 7th day rest. So I was going to go to Cafe Origins in Birmingham. I didn't. I ended up going to some place in, I think, Lathrop Village or something. All right. So anyway, yeah, I ended up having to go to a coffee shop, and it was in Berkeley, not Lathrop Village, 2 different places. I could have used the town thing to my advantage, and I messed up big time. Again, not very happy with the way it worked out. I could have done a lot better job of mapping. I know next one I'm not going to be in Metro Detroit, but you have so many towns on top of towns. Let me go back over to here. Like if you take a look here, different mailing addresses. You have Clawson, Birmingham. I didn't have. Let's see here. Highland Park, Hamtramck's like a town within the city of Detroit. It's really weird. Castle Rouge, Franklin Park, Warrendale, Fiskhorn, Dearborn, Melvindale, River. Like they all have separate mailing address. Now, if you take a look here, this is where the lighthouse is. That is still Detroit. Grosse Pointe Park, right there. Grosse Pointe's like a different one. But yeah, like I kind of messed up. I left a whole section right here. Village Oaks, Farmington Hills, Southfield, Franklin, Beverly Hills. I did get one in Berkeley. Madison Heights, that's another one. I did get one in Warren. Troy, what was in Troy? Oh, I was going to go there and I didn't do that. Yeah, so anyway, back to the whole rally. Like, you had red, orange, and I was trying to go for main points because combos I think were out. The green one would have been really hard. Finding a frog that one would have been hard to do because it was a really hot day. Bluesy, I got my male peacock at 1,200 points. You know, I knew the Detroit Zoo was a place to be. Indigo, I kind of should have not done Indigo. And then Violet, that was that one, if you take a look here, that's that one all the way out here. Nope. That's one nope. Nope. There we go. That's the one all the way out here in Taylor. And I should have done that just to pick up some miles, because the last part of the day, I just ended up wasting time. I mean, I didn't go for any more points. And I'm going to explain why here. I was not in the right frame of mind mentally. Patrick just had a video come out yesterday about lack of sleep and like how it really messed with his head, about how he was going to get rid of his V-Strom, all because of lack of sleep. I had a similar issue. I was not sleeping well. I was out on work, and the truck thing wasn't bothering me. The truck thing wasn't scaring me. There was something at home here, at work, at the shop, that was really messing with my head. I was having like kind of panic attacks. And, you know, I thought I really screwed something up. I didn't. I fixed it by the time I got home, but it was that sense of dread all weekend that kind of, you know, just really messed with my head. I mean, I just was really disappointed, and I wasn't sleeping well, and I just was miserable, and yeah, it really messed up my whole drive. It messed up it gave me fatigue. I only did this was a 12-hour rally that I did in 10 hours, and I left a lot of points on the table. I only stopped here. I'm going to see what I did here. Just saying. I only did. Yeah, where's my mouse? Yeah, let me quick go to screen capture here. You know, here I finished 20th. I was the second highest rookie at 20th, but Jake kicked my ass. And a lot of people did really well over me. And I didn't pick up a combo. That was on me before I left. I could have done at least a continent combo. And I only got 12,600. So I got 5,000 more than I could have. But the thing is, I did it in 13 stops, which is probably one of the most efficient. You know, I was beating out guys who were doing 15, 14. Hell, one person did 19, but he lost 4,000. Oh, he lost the rally flag. That's why. He got hit by losing that rally flag. But yeah, like, I just didn't. I was messed up. And, you know, it's just, I wasn't happy with what I was doing. And so I just want to, like, preface that. It sucks, and there was nothing I could do. It's just bad timing. Other than seeing a psychologist or getting another job, there's nothing I can do. I mean, I really am thinking about seeing it. After that weekend, I'm thinking about seeing a psychologist, because that really ruined my weekend. That really ruined it, and I just was not in a good mood. I was out in Metro Detroit, which is like my second home. I didn't want to drink Tim Hortons coffee. I didn't want to have a dirty blonde ale. Like, I wasn't eating right. I wasn't sleeping right, and it just was a really bad deal. So I didn't mind being from home. Like, the hotel was fine. I just wasn't in a good place of mind, and that's kind of the situation I was in right now. So, yeah, just wanted to like let you guys know. This is a problem about being in the garage. You got bugs. So yeah, you know, that's kind of where I'm at. But I'll just show you let's get back to the whole get to the whole thing here, and I'll tell you where I deviated, and maybe just quick throw up some pictures. Come on. All right, so yeah, I left a ton of points on the table. So anyway, all right, so let's go through here. So first off, starting points in Waterford. I went to Tim Hortons, got a Cottywomple. I should have got a nice coffee, because when I do these, whenever I do a long distance ride, you got to do iced coffee, because hot coffee, it's going to take too long to drink. Iced coffee is the better way to go. So go down to, this is 8 Mile. So I ended up getting my, the Red Barn. Then I knew I was going to skip a bunch of stuff, and I ended up at the Just Another Book, which is nice. It was actually a nice, cool little town. Henry Ford, where I got the, hey man, did you really spend $48? Yes. And by the way, good luck to Wolf. He's in the scooter Cannonball, and he has been doing great. It's the last day. He was in 14th as of yesterday, so I was hoping for Quasi-Motard, but he's more on a tourist time frame. I think Wolf might actually I kind of want Wolf to finish in the top 10. So good job. It's really nice. It's a shame you took down the 1150 GS, but you're doing something. Anyway, so number 4 was my secret, and that was the lighthouse. That one was a good point paying. Let's see here. Where did that? 7 Ancient Worlds, Mausoleum, Lighthouse. Lighthouse was like a nice 877 points. That's why I took that one. And then I went back to Belle Isle for Africa, which Africa. Nope. I don't know where it is. There we go. I love Belle Isle. That's my favorite place to be. So I absolutely love that place. That's why I got that one. Let's go back here. Then I did do a stop at the Motown Museum for the Cottywomple. There's a specific list of things, and that was one of them. So I wanted to get that one, and I actually went to Nashville and I took 3 pictures, and then I didn't read the instructions, so only one of them counted, which is a shame, but that's on me. I didn't expect special rules. So then I went to this is where the zoo is here. Yeah, so here's the zoo. Here's the park. Here's the water. I probably could have came here, took a picture, and got that secret. I'm an idiot. Ended up going to Cirilla's down here. Then this is not really correct. I don't know, it is. Actually, I did take 696. 696 is kind of under construction, so I couldn't take it too much. Not only did I get an American flag, but I also got a cannon for the Cottywomple, so good for me. Let's see here, number 9. Yeah, and then I was going to go get coffee here, but because I messed up this area, I went west. And I forget where it is. It's not Oak Park. It's not Lathrop Village. I mentioned it earlier. I think it's Berkeley. I picked up a coffee shop at Berkeley, and I got a Cottywomple stop out of that too. So I've been double dipping, as some people can say. I had to take different pictures though, because the rules for the Lobo Loco are different. So I had to get both. And what I did was I didn't put it on a phone. I actually printed it out, put it in a binder, and I had all of the rules right there. So I would get to the spot, open it up, look down, and say, okay, well, the rule for, let's see here, that was 7th day. 7th day. Yeah, lucky 7th day, according to submit a receipt for a snack or a drink and take a selfie enjoying your rest sitting on a patio or inside a cafe with your purchase. So I took it out. I almost screwed that up, so I'm glad I didn't. Wolf won't take the thing away from you, but he will deduct points. So if you look here, I had no issues. I had asked Terrence, because he's like my motorcycle mentor. I said, hey man, what, because he finished ahead of me and he did much better. And I was like, hey, man, what'd you lose? And he's like, oh, I lost this. So he, oh, shoot. Anyway, so yeah, he kind of did that. And this is where it started to go off the rails a little bit. So I went, got that. I skipped Birmingham. I went to Temple Beth because there was Temple. I forget how many points that was. Let's see here. Because they wanted 7 Wonders of the World. And so 7 Wonders of the World were, one was a temple. Well, I know that there's a large Jewish community because I lived out there. I actually worked for the JCC. I worked for the Jewish Ensemble Theater. Rest in peace. I worked I worked with the Jewish community. And so temple was only 377. I don't know why I went for that because that's tiny. Anyway, maybe I thought I was going to do that because I could have hit Pyramid. That one would have been a little harder. Garden I could have done. Statue I could have done. Temple I could have done. Mausoleum I could have done. Lighthouse I did. And yeah, this is another one where I probably, if I would have worked a little harder, I could have done it. Anyway, so there's that. So let's see here. Just wanted to... let's go back here. And now this one, so I did Temple Beth. I went to a garden center. I forget what that one, I forget what that was. I think that was like part of the 7 Wonders. And then, let me go back into here. There was one where he wanted me to have, might have been Sunday. Head to a beach and take a photo of your helmet in the sand or pebbles. I didn't want to put my helmet in the sand. Let's see here. Let's get out of here. Out of here. Yeah, here we go. That's a great picture of me. I refuse to put it in the sand. I don't want a sandy helmet. That's as good as I was going to get. But yes, that's at Cass Lake. And one of my favorite restaurants is right by there. Unfortunately, it burned down. Fork and Pint. I even said to my wife last time we were there in April when we were out there together, I was like, I'd really like to go. That's my favorite restaurant. And then a week later, like the day before my birthday, it burned to the ground. And I'm like, oh no. But that, I wanted to get that one. So let's go back. So I did go there. And then one of the happy accidents is because I had to go to Belle Isle because I had to go to Cass Lake. I ended up at Dodge State Park. I ended up getting a passport, and that's on the bike. And if I go bring the bike next year, which I kind of want to do, I'll get another one. Let's see here. So, and then I was making my way through Pontiac. I got a picture of a hospital, a shitty hospital, so don't go to that one. Now, here's where I deviated. I was, like I said, I was starting to get really depressed. There was a mosque I could have got. Didn't do it. I was starting to feel burnout at the time, and with the fatigue, with the mental distress, wasn't good. Here's where I would have got the gardens, because look at all these garden statues. Again, I didn't go. It was also the end of the day, they might have been closed. So I ended up going back to Meadowbrook Theater, and Meadowbrook Theater is really important to me. So if you see in this little green splotch here, that's where a picnic table was. There's actually a nice tree there, but when they put in a AC unit next to it, it killed it. So one of the things that was on there was Sleepy, and because you had Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and that was a good chunk of points, 700 points right there. Not as good as Happy. So anyway, Sleepy was like, take a picture in the Iron Butt Motel. I took about half a dozen pictures. So when the previous owner, when I worked under the previous owner there, the master electrician, Reed, he used to park his bike here all the time. So I knew I could get the shot. So there's me trying to make an Iron Butt Motel. There's Reed's bike. It's back home in its spot. That's all. It wasn't home, but that's where it parked all the time. Yeah. So there's a good picture of me. This is when I realized it was the last stop. I was tired. Not only was I faking being tired, I was tired. And like I said, the fatigue, the mental distress, all that really messed with me all day. And I had enough. I was shot. It's all the same picture. So, but I at least got this isn't the first time I brought the bike back. When I did my Iron Butt ride 2 years ago, the bike ended up sitting home again. It came back home where it belongs. So, yeah, like it's kind of its homecoming basically. I do this every couple of years. So I went to Meadowbrook Theater, and then there was some mausoleums and some other stuff I could have got. There's one there. What was over here? This was Coles for the Down Under. My heart was not in it. Up here there was another. I forget what the hell is that. I don't know what was here. There was supposed to be something up here, like I forget. It was something to do. I don't know if it was I don't know what it was. It was something to do with like a tank or no, it was something to do with military. It was something to do with days of the week. Military, tank, cannon, warplane, attack heli. I found one. Ooh. My DJI overheated, everybody. So they turned off the screen. By the way, been having some issues with DJI, so don't act like it's, hot crap. So yeah, so that was one of the other things. I should finish this up. Then over here, there was a castle in Owasso, and Curwood Castle. At one point, I was going up all the way to Frankenmuth, because it's the world's largest Christmas shop, and one of the things... Colossus, Anyway, so that was pretty much it. The last part of the ride, I just rode north for like a bunch of miles. My friends were making a decent dinner. I had a decent dinner, and I really appreciate that. So, I just wanted to go back, basically home base, and get a decent meal. That's kind of where it came from. So here's So here's the results. I finished 20th. There were supposed to be 40 people, and a bunch of people didn't start. And Wolf was very concerned about that. So he's either like, did you guys forget? What happened? Did you just not want to do it? Did stuff come up? I signed up for this right away back in January, February, and I'm glad I did. So, I think... Hopefully, there's a movie one coming up. I did not sign up for that. Let me go quick. He has not told us what movie. I don't think he tells us what movie until like the week of. Let's see here. Fall movie in September. It's a 10-hour rally, and... it starts anywhere. In the past, they've done Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Godfather, Titanic, Blues Brothers. Wolf has a really good sense of what he's doing. So I really want to... And if you win, or if you're the season champion, you get to pick the movie. So... that'd be cool, but I'm not going to be a season finisher. I didn't finish in the top 10, and it's kind of like F1. You only get points if you finish in the top 10 or something. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. And yeah, it was. That's kind of what Michigan is right there. So will I do this again? Yeah, I'll do this again. I'll do it again next year. The next one I'm going to do in Pennsylvania. And it also depends on what's going on with my bike. My bike is in need of some work. I need to do a clutch, if not this year, next year. So I'll probably be doing this again. The movie one looks really interesting. Maybe I could tie it in with like one of the drive-ins. Be doing it in Pennsylvania. Don't know hopefully the clutch is still good on my bike by then. But yeah, this was a nice little side thing that I like to do. I like the long distance. I like the I like to do stuff like that. I don't think I'll ever be able to do an iron butt. Number one, by the time I'm old enough to get time off to do it, I think the organization will be gone. And on top of that, I won't have the support that I really need to do it. I think you do have to have a supportive spouse. She was just in here. So I do think you have to have someone that really supports that. And my wife gets scared when I ride, so long distance. So I don't think I'll be doing that, but I still like to be an armchair fan, so to speak. But this Lobo Loco rally is great for me. The LDX, stuff like that, Heart of Texas rally, I don't think I have the time to do it either. I would love to do that stuff, but it's just not in the cards. So anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoy this content, if you're interested in, please shoot me an email. Please like and subscribe, buy me a coffee, do all that stuff. If, like I said, if you enjoy this, if you're interested, shoot me a message, let me know. I could give some advice, I can give some recommendations, but I'm also still learning. I'm still a rookie too. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.